Hello. I've been asked to do number 5 and 8 from day 2. It was assigned late on Friday, but also you may have worked on it Monday, May 11th. I also noticed that there were some questions about 13 and 14 day 3, which you would have been working on May 12th. I probably will have to break this video up and do 2 videos to cover all 4 questions. Okay, so let's start with number 5. Just going to use the guess method. Helps you get started if you're stuck. Okay, so G is given. So number 5. An aquarium contains 20 guppies. 20 guppies. 12 female and 8 males. 36 tetras. 14 females and 22 males. If a clerk randomly nets a fish, what is the probability that that it is a female or a tetra? Okay, so the U is the unknown. So find the probability that you get a female or a tetra. Okay, so E, the equation. So we have an equation formula, or a formula for the OR. So it's A or B is equal to the probability. So the probability of A or B, probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of the intersection, A and B. Okay, so S is the solution. So take what you've been given, the unknown and the equation. So we're going to say that A is now F for female and B is now tetra. So we're going to use the probability of the female or the tetra. It's the probability of the female plus the probability of the tetra minus the probability of the female and the tetra. Okay, so you've got lots of things going on here. So let's take what's been given, because we've got to break down this formula. All right, so you've got the 20 guppies, you've got the 12 females, and you've got the 8 males. You've got the 36 tetras, and you've got the 14 females and the 22 males. All right, so this is what you're trying to find. Okay, so you're not going to spend time trying to find that until you sub stuff in. Okay, so what's the probability of your desired outcome being female? So there are, in total, okay, both the guppies and the tetras represent females. So in total, you've got 26, oopsie daisy, 26 oops, my word, 26 females. But they came from the guppies and the tetras, so they're out of the total of 56, right? So the probability of a female came from the guppies and the tetras, so 26 out of 56. 26 out of 56. Tetras. So the tetra in total were the 36. But they were part of the larger group of 56, right? So you could grab 36 tetras out of the total of 56. The probability that you had the female and the tetra, so that the tetra was female, is here, right? So you need the females that are the tetras. But the fact that you grabbed out of the females okay, and you grabbed out of the tetras, you have to recognize that they're coming from the 56, right? So they're part of the larger group of 56. So 14 out of the 56, okay? So you add them up. So you got the 26 and the 36. Take away the 14. It's 48 out of 56. Divide that by 8. So you got 6 out of 7. Okay, so then the S, last S is the sentence. So therefore, probability of grabbing a female or a tetra is 6 out of 7. So 4-3 number 5. Okay, so 6 out of 7. It works. Okay, so let's do 8. So what was given? Okay, so it says at the start of the flu season, you have 50 patients that are examined. Okay, so over 2 days. Of the 50 patients, 30 have a headache. So 30 have headache. So that's H. 24 have a cold. So remember, this is like the nurse saying, do you have a headache? Yes, check mark. Do you have a cold? Yes, check mark. They can also, so the same person can be saying yes to both of these questions, right? So that's where the overlap comes in. Okay. So 12 have neither. 12 have neither. Okay. So this group say no to the headache and no to the cold. They are outside of the Venn diagrams. So when I have my Venn diagram, so the sample space is 50 patients, okay? 12 have neither, that's 12 outside here, okay? 12 have neither the C nor, or sorry, H nor the C, okay? So this is the H and the C, okay? So that means that the circles, including their overlap, represents 50 minus the 12. Represent the union, right? So the other thing I want to know is, okay, so if 30 is here, how does the 30 break down? And if the 24 are here, how does the 24 break down? Okay, because the 24, some of the 24 can also be counted in the 30. Okay, so that probably is a question that I want to address right away. So GU, so U, the unknown. Okay, so there's a bunch of them. So you want to find, so this is the unknown. So you want to find the probability that a patient has a headache just, oh, that's crucial. So I just a headache. Okay, so you want to know that. Probability a headache or a cold. Well, probability of a, oops, headache or a cold, that's the union, right? So that's the or, right? So we could already answer that. So the probability of a headache or a cold is the union, right? So that's 38 out of the 50 patients that were asked, right? So that's the union. Okay, so then that's half, 19 out of 25. Okay, so double I does not have cold symptoms. Okay, so I'm going to say that the question does not have cold symptoms is the same as the question does not have a cold. So they might have been more clear there, but we're just going to probability that does not have cold symptoms. So we want to find that question. Okay. All right. So the fact that they say that there's just a headache, you want to break up this yellow and take away what's the overlap. Okay. So we've got to get the overlap. So it looks like the equation to find just the headache, we're going to use the formula of the number of headaches with the union of colds is equal to the number of headaches plus the number of colds minus the number of headaches, so the number of people with a headache plus the number of people with a cold, subtract the number of people with a headache and a cold. Okay, so the S here, the solution is basically taking everything that you had here above and substituting it in. Okay, so we know the union is 38, right? We know that the union is 38. So we're going to take the values that we know, subbing them in. Oh, that was too bad. Sorry about that. Okay. So, do we know the union? Well, yeah, we do. We say that the union is that, right? So the union is the 38. So you're going to sub in the number of the union is 38. Do we know the number that have a cold? Well, yeah, in total, the number that have a cold is 30 grand total, right? And the number that have a headache is 30. Number that have a cold is 24. Okay, so the 38 and the 30 and the 24 minus the number that have both. Okay, so we move everything over to isolate and solve for the number that have the cold and the headache. Okay. 38 minus 30 minus 24. Okay, so negative 16 equals, oops, that's a negative. That's negative. So divided by negative 1. So we have 16 equals the number that have the headache and the cold. Okay, so that number there goes here. That's the intersection. Okay, so having done that, yeah, okay, so having done that, this is the 30 minus the 16. So so therefore, just headache is the 30 minus the 16, which gives you the 14. Oops, headache. Because if you add those, right, if you added those, these two numbers will still give you the 30, which was in the yellow. Okay, so therefore, just cold is the 24 minus the 16, which is 8. So that's 8 there. All right, so can we do the other ones? So just a headache. Oh, well, that's the number there. So then the probability of just the headache, probability of just a headache is equal to 14 over 50, which is equal to 7 over 25. Okay, and what else? Oh, the union. I can still see that. Okay, headache and the union of the cold is 19 over 25, which we already had there. What about the other one? Okay, so it does not have cold symptoms. So that there is cold symptoms. So if you're not having cold symptoms, you're outside of this group. So I need another piece of paper. Okay, so the probability that you not have cold symptoms. Okay, so your total is 50 minus your cold symptoms. Minus your cold symptoms, and that was 24. So that gives you 26. Okay, so that equals no cold symptoms. So when you want to take a probability, it's 26 out of the total. 13 out of 25. Okay, so the last S is the sentence. Therefore, probability of a headache is just a headache is 7 out of 25. Therefore, the probability of a, oops, I don't think you're going to see this. Probability of headache or cold is 7 out of 25. see this? Yeah. Probability does not have cold symptoms. Probability of not having cold symptoms is 13 out of 25. Oh, we gotta check the answers. Practice what I preach. Okay, so number 8. That matches what we've got. So that matches, gotta show it. That matches what we've got here. And then 7 out of 25. That's what we've got there. And then, what's that number? Oh my goodness. Duh. 19 out of 25. That's what we had over here. That's what we had here. That's what we had over here. And then 13 out of 25. Yes. 13 out of 25 is what we have here.